In the vast forests and rugged landscapes of Canada, people have disappeared without explanation, leaving their whereabouts and fate shrouded in mystery. The dangerous and endless wilderness of Canada has become the backdrop for chilling tales that evoke a sense of unease and intrigue. Each disappearance unfolds like a suspenseful thriller, where individuals vanish into the quiet expanse of nature, leaving behind unanswered questions that haunt their loved ones and investigators alike. The eerie silence of these remote areas seems to hold secrets that defy rational explanation, creating an atmosphere steeped in mystique and fear. From seasoned outdoor enthusiasts who know the terrain intimately to professionals trained to navigate the wilderness, these cases challenge our understanding of safety and survival in the most isolated corners of nature. The fact that some of these disappearances suggest the possibility of foul play or ominous circumstances only deepens the sense of unease surrounding these mysteries. The allure and mystique of the Canadian wilderness draw adventurers and explorers from around the world, but these disappearances serve as stark reminders of its unforgiving nature. Despite extensive search efforts involving helicopters, search dogs, and dedicated teams combing through dense forests and rugged mountains, some individuals seem to vanish without leaving a trace. Lyle and Marie McCann were a married couple in their 70s who lived in rural Oregon. They were well-loved members of their community, known for their kindness and generosity. On March 15, 2019, the couple set out on a road trip to see family in Tucson, Arizona. Unfortunately, they never made it to their destination. Lyle and Marie McCann embarked on their journey on March 15, 2019. They left their home in rural Oregon, driving their silver 2013 Chrysler Town and Country minivan. They were headed to visit family in Tucson, Arizona, and planned to take a scenic route through Northern California. The couple was known for their adventurous spirit and love for road trips, making this trip seem like a typical excursion for them. As they traveled through the remote areas of Northern California, something went terribly wrong. On March 19, 2019, their minivan was found abandoned on a desolate forest road in the rugged terrain near the town of Eureka, California. The vehicle was locked, and there were no immediate signs of struggle or foul play around the car. Personal belongings, including their cell phones and Lyle's wallet, were still inside the vehicle, suggesting they had not intended to be away from it for long. The location where the van was found was notably remote and difficult to access. It was an area not commonly traveled by tourists or casual travelers, raising questions about why the McCanns were there in the first place. The forest roads in this region are known for their rough and sometimes treacherous conditions, adding to the mystery of why Lyle and Marie would have taken such a route. Initial reports indicated that the couple may have become disoriented or lost in the unfamiliar and rugged terrain. The weather during that period was also a factor, as it was early spring, and the conditions could have been unpredictable, with potential cold temperatures at night. Despite these theories, the locked vehicle and presence of personal items inside suggested they didn't venture far willingly or without plans to return quickly. Local authorities, upon discovering the abandoned vehicle, initiated a search operation immediately. Search and rescue teams, including KA-9 units and helicopters, were deployed to comb the vast and challenging landscape. Volunteers from the community and surrounding areas also joined the search efforts, scouring the dense forests and rough terrain for any signs of the elderly couple. The search operation faced significant challenges. The dense forest, steep inclines, and deep ravines made it difficult for searchers to cover ground quickly and thoroughly. Additionally, the remote location meant that communication and coordination among search teams were sometimes hampered. Despite these efforts, the search did not yield any significant clues as to the whereabouts of Lyle and Marie. As days turned into weeks, and then months, the hope of finding Lyle and Marie McCann began to fade. The lack of evidence or leads left investigators and the family in a state of frustration and despair. The couple's disappearance remained a haunting mystery, with no clear answers as to what might have happened to them. The discovery of the abandoned minivan raised numerous questions. Why had Lyle and Marie driven into such a remote area? Were they meeting someone, or had they simply become lost? Was there foul play involved, or did they fall victim to a tragic accident? These questions have remained unanswered, keeping the case shrouded in uncertainty and speculation. The disappearance of Lyle and Marie McCann continues to be a perplexing case, with investigators and the family still seeking any information that could provide closure. The case remains open, and the search for answers goes on, with the hope that someday the truth will come to light. Stephanie Stewart was a 70-year-old woman known for her love of nature and dedication to her job. She worked as a fire lookout for Alberta Sustainable Resource Development, a position she had held for over a decade. On August 26, 2006, Stephanie was stationed at the Athabasca Lookout Tower, a remote location near Hinton, Alberta. Her job involved scanning the horizon for signs of forest fires and reporting any smoke or fire sightings. This job can be very lonely, but Stephanie enjoyed the view and the quietness of her job. She was very reliable and always happy with her job and her life. But suddenly things changed. When her colleagues attempted to reach her later that day and received no response, concern grew rapidly. It was unusual for Stephanie to not answer her radio, and her fellow fire lookouts knew something was amiss. By the afternoon, a colleague was dispatched to the Athabasca Tower to check on her. Upon arrival, the colleague found Stephanie's truck parked nearby, indicating she was likely still in the vicinity. The door to the lookout tower was unlocked, which was atypical given the safety protocols in place. Inside the tower, the scene was eerily undisturbed yet suggestive of an abrupt departure. Stephanie's personal items, including her radio, wallet, and jacket, were found in the tower. Most concerning, a pot of water was boiling on the stove. Even more concerning were the bloodstains on the stairs. This could mean that she was attacked by an animal or anything else. Immediately after she was reported missing, an extensive search operation was launched. The initial response included search and rescue teams, helicopters equipped with thermal imaging cameras, KE9 units, and numerous volunteers who scoured the area. The search radius was expanded rapidly due to the remote and expansive nature of the region. However, the dense underbrush, steep inclines, and vast area made the search incredibly challenging. Despite their exhaustive efforts, no trace of Stephanie was found. The search teams covered a wide area, examining every possible location where she might have wandered or encountered trouble. They searched ravines, water bodies, and dense thickets, hoping to find any clue that could lead to her whereabouts. Unfortunately, after days of searching, the operation was scaled back, although the RCMP continued their investigation. The disappearance baffled everyone involved. Stephanie was an experienced and cautious individual, well versed in the dangers of her job and the surrounding environment. She knew how to navigate the wilderness and had emergency protocols in place. The idea that she could simply vanish without a trace was hard for her colleagues and family to accept. Adding to the mystery were the conditions and timing of her disappearance. The weather on the day she vanished was relatively mild, with no severe weather conditions that might have caused her harm or forced her to leave the tower in haste. The isolated location of the Athabasca Tower also meant that it was unlikely she had encountered random passers-by, but not impossible. The RCMP treated the case as suspicious from the beginning. They conducted interviews with Stephanie's colleagues, friends, and family to gather any possible information about her plans or potential threats. However, no significant leads emerged. Posters and alerts were distributed widely, and the case received considerable media attention, but no credible sightings or information about Stephanie's whereabouts surfaced. The discovery of her belongings in the tower, coupled with the undisturbed state of the scene inside of the cabin, suggested that whatever happened to Stephanie occurred swiftly and without warning. The boiling pot of water indicated she had only intended to step away momentarily. This clue pointed to the possibility of an accident, sudden medical emergency, or an unexpected encounter that required her immediate attention. The boiling pot could also be a hint of her having company. Maybe company she appreciated first but later refused or even regret. As time passed, various theories emerged about her fate. Some speculated that she may have fallen victim to a wild animal attack, though this was considered unlikely due to the lack of physical evidence. Others theorized that she might have suffered a medical emergency, such as a stroke or heart attack, and wandered off in a disoriented state. Yet, extensive searches yielded no physical evidence to support this theory either. Foul play was another theory considered by investigators. The isolated location of the tower made it a potential target for someone with malicious intent, though there was no evidence of forced entry or a struggle. The possibility of a hidden trail or secondary access route to the tower was also explored, but no concrete leads were found. Stephanie's disappearance remains an open case, with investigators continuing to seek any new information or leads. The lack of evidence and the remote location of the Athabasca Tower have made this case particularly challenging, leaving friends, family, and the public with many unanswered questions. Terrence Woods Jr., a 27-year-old from Capitol Heights, Maryland, was a promising young man with a degree in journalism from American University. In October 2018, he was working as a production assistant for Raw TV, a British company filming the Discovery Channel series Gold Rush, Dave Turin's Lost Mine. On October 5, 2018, Terrence was on location in the remote Penman Mine area in the Oro Grande region of Idaho County, Idaho. The crew was wrapping up their shoot when something inexplicable happened. Witnesses reported that Terrence suddenly ran down a steep embankment into the dense forest without any explanation. This behavior was described as highly unusual and out of character for him. His colleagues described the incident as Terrence was running as fast as a rabbit. They tried to follow him and even thought he fell down a canyon, but as soon as they arrived at the edge they saw him running down in the valley. They've never seen anyone running that fast. Immediately following his disappearance, a large-scale search operation was launched. Ground teams, drones, and helicopters scoured the area for days, but no trace of Terrence was found. The rugged terrain and thick forest made the search extremely challenging, and despite the intensive efforts, the search was eventually called off. Terrence's family has been vocal about their dissatisfaction with the investigation and search efforts. They insist that Terrence showed no signs of mental health issues and believe more could have been done to find him. The family's frustration has been compounded by the lack of answers and the mystery surrounding his disappearance. Several theories have emerged regarding Terrence's disappearance. Some suggest that he may have been experiencing mental health issues or an emotional breakdown, though his family strongly disputes this, insisting he had no history of such problems. Others believe that foul play could be involved, but there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. Another possibility is that Terrence may have had an accident in the difficult terrain and succumbed to the elements. Until this day, the Terrence Woods remains missing and the case is still open and unsolved. So what happened to this ambitious, young man? Connie Marie Johnson, a 76-year-old experienced outdoorswoman, was last seen on September 2, 2018, while working as a cook at the remote Big Fog Mountain Lookout in the rugged wilderness of Idaho. Connie was well versed in the demands of her job and the challenges of the environment, having worked in similar roles for many years. On the day she vanished, a hunter reported having a brief conversation with her near her campsite, after which she returned to her post. When colleagues attempted to contact her via radio later that day and received no response, alarm bells started ringing. A search party quickly converged on her location, finding her campsite undisturbed, her gear intact, and her dog, Ace, missing. Despite extensive search efforts involving helicopters, K-9 units, and ground teams combing the harsh, mountainous terrain, no trace of Connie was found. Days later, Ace was discovered wandering alone near a trailhead miles away from the campsite, but he couldn't provide any clues to Connie's whereabouts. The undisturbed campsite and the complete lack of physical evidence or clues deepened the mystery. With no signs of foul play or struggle and the challenging environment complicating the search, Connie's disappearance remains an unsettling and unsolved enigma. As we come to the end of our exploration into these perplexing disappearances, the intertwined stories of Stephanie Stewart, Lyle and Marie McCann, Terrence Woods, and Connie Johnson leave us with haunting questions that linger in the vast expanse of the wilderness. Stephanie Stewart, watching over the Athabasca Lookout Tower, suddenly gone without a trace. The McCanns, embarking on a family road trip, their camper found abandoned. Terrence Woods, filming in the Nevada desert, vanishing under mysterious circumstances. Connie Johnson, a seasoned outdoorswoman, disappearing from Big Fog Mountain Lookout, her loyal dog Ace found alone. Where are they now, and what happened to each of them? These mysteries defy easy answers, challenging our understanding of safety and survival in the remote corners of nature. The shared element of disappearance in these cases underscores the unpredictable and unforgiving nature of the wild. Their stories resonate with the uncertainty faced by families and communities, left wondering and searching for closure. The efforts of search teams and investigators persist, driven by the hope of unraveling the truth behind these enigmatic disappearances. Thank you for joining me on this gripping journey. If you enjoyed this video and want more compelling stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember to also like this video and share it with your friends to dive deeper into the world of mysterious crimes. Your support means a lot to me and helps to continue sharing fascinating stories like this with you. Until next time.